You have to forgive me if I have a very bad voice. I have a unfortunate cold. Thanks to the changing weather patterns here. Excuse me. But I need to get this out there right now. Ron DeSantis has absolutely no chance of becoming the Republican primary winner and candidate for the presidency of the United States in 2024. Zero chance. None. Bucus. Goose egg. Nada. Why do I know this? One, because Florida doesn't like him, except for the idiotic, racist bigots out there. Florida doesn't respect him, considering the fact that he's never done anything to Florida, for Florida, other than start this little don't say gay thing, to the point where he's actually attacking and starting a war with the biggest employer of Florida. Obviously, I'm talking about Disney. And that he lost that war. But the main primary reason why he will not be the Republican candidate for the 2024 election, the reason why is because the Republican Party is owned. Let me repeat that. The Republican Party is owned. Lock, stock, barrel, blood, soul, bones, balls, everything by Donald John Trump.
Oh, hail Lord Zeus. Oh, hail Lord Zeus. Oh, hail Lord Zeus.
Why is it owned by Donald Trump? I can give you a myriad of reasons why or how, but the fact of the matter is Donald Trump represents exactly what they represent. Now, I keep getting sickening ideas of reminders that the Republican Party opposed slavery, blah, 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 this. They opposed the KKK. Democrats did this. Democrats did that. Yes, you did. But that was back then, decades ago, hundreds of years ago, before you and I were even born. I'm nearly in my 40s. And right now, that Republican Party is gone, chica. Those days are long gone. The Republican Party now represents mindlessly flag-waving, destroying history of this country, racism, and we are seeing that. We've seen all of that in the last 20 years, starting all the way from the Bush administration. Now, Bush, I'm not saying Bush was a racist. He was just an idiot. All the way to the election, the first election, going all the way to the first candidacy of Barack Obama, the racism came out wide from there. Saying that a black man shouldn't be president of the United States, saying that you making up all kinds of lies about him and his family, all the way to the present day, to the 4 miserable years we had as Donald Trump. Him making excuse after excuse after excuse after excuse for white supremacists and white supremacy in this country. The BS excuse of many sides after the nightmare in Charlottesville, where Heather Heyer lost her life by a white supremacist who wore a MAGA hat, mind you, the red MAGA hat. To the increasing amounts of terror after the COVID-19, during the COVID-19 pandemic, when he called the COVID-19 the China virus. His words, I'm saying it directly as he said, China virus. All of it started by him. And it's continuing to the present day. You have Republican congressmen and congresswomen and senators, like, of course, the clown Mary Jean Taylor Greene, spewing her hatred day in and day out, her bigotry against the LGBTQ, her silent bigotry against African Americans and other peoples of color in this country. You have all that. And the end of the day has shown absolutely nothing but disrespect to this country. The reason why Ron DeSantis won't become president of the United States or even win the primary is not only because he's a terrible, terrible governor. This guy goes on a countrywide tour while a city in his state is drowning. This guy started a war with the biggest employer in the state of Florida. And as much as and I don't know your feelings about Disney, let me know in the comments. Regardless of your feelings about Disney, you start a war with a company that brings your state billions of dollars a year, if not more than that. Just because a bunch of kids across the country want to see Mickey Mouse or Minnie Mouse, or a bunch of women dressed up as Cinderella or Sleeping Beauty, or the Marvel characters or Star Wars characters, you have destroyed yourself, and you will lose. That is why Ron DeSantis is not going to become president of the United States. He won't win he won't even win the primary. Hell, you got guys like Senator Tim Scott. The only prominent black face, and I don't mean that in a racial context either, the only prominent black face in the GOP, Senator of South Carolina, saying that he's going to throw his hat in the ring. He's not going to be president either. Come on. These Republicans went off on Barack Obama. These people are telling every kind of lie that there is about Kamala Harris. You really think that these guys, just because he has that little R next to his name, that they're going to accept him? No, they won't. All they want is Trump. We need Trump. We need to have Trump. It's Trump or death for these people. Literal death, mind you. Considering the numerous amount of death threats we've been seeing over the last few years. Look, here are the facts. As much as I have respect for President Joe Biden, he should not run in the next election. Not because it may be an easy victory for Trump. No. I'm going to explain that in a few moments what I mean by that. Not because of this, that, and the other, or his low approval ratings, or lowballing him about his age, because to me, this is an act of vanity rather than an act of patriotism. Now, mind you, I have the greatest respect for Joe Biden. He's not the perfect president in the world, but what president has been perfect? No one. Barack Obama wasn't perfect. Neither one of the Bushes were perfect, mind you. Bill Clinton wasn't perfect. Hell, John F. Kennedy wasn't perfect, although he was one of the best presidents in modern history. But when it comes down to it, Joe Biden should not be running because he's done his time. It's time for him to retire. It's time for him to go move on. At the end of his term, give the reins to someone else. But here's the thing. The reason why I'm not worried that if Joe Biden runs and goes to a rematch against Donald Trump, because the differences between the two will be really apparent from minute one. Joe Biden, despite his flaws, believes in our country and its people, and is fighting for these people. After the mass shootings that took place in Nashville and Louisville, he's fighting for an assault weapons ban. And I know it's going to piss a lot of you people off that watch this video who are card-carrying members of the NRA. I don't give a damn. Something needs to be done. But when it comes to Donald Trump, he says nothing. He'll dust himself off and say, okay, what do I say then? What do I say? Oh, thoughts and prayers? Okay, I got you. That's all he's going to do. But the concrete reason as to why I'm not worried if there's going to be a Biden and Trump rematch is because we know what Biden stands for. Everyone definitely knows what Trump and the MAGA stand for. And it's not Make America Great Again or Keep America Great, whatever one of his campaign slogans he's trying to use. It's about revenge. He made that abundantly clear in one of his speeches and his rallies. He said, plain and simple, I am your retribution. For those who have been wronged, I am your retribution. I am your retribution. That should frighten all of us. That reminds me of Adolf Hitler. That reminds me of Mussolini. That reminds me of Idi Amin. Pardon me on that. That reminds me of so many people in this country and outside this country, terrorists and dictators throughout our world history that have said, I have been wronged, I'm going to get revenge. The fact is, Trump isn't concerned about making America great again, or protecting people, or lowering gas prices, or lowering drug prices, or doing this, that, and the other to make America great. Trump is fixated on one thing and one thing only: revenge. You wronged me by not voting me in 2020. Or he keeps saying that the 2020 election was rigged against him, but in his idiotic mind, he thinks that the world is supposed to bend to him. That's the problem. During the 4 years he was president, he thought that everyone was supposed to answer to him. Not just his candidate, his cabinet, not just the people under him in his government, in his regime, but all of us in this country were supposed to answer to him. We are the people of the United States. We're the ones who do the freaking hiring when it comes to politics. You, Donald Trump, were supposed to answer to us. But unfortunately, in that business head mind of yours, you thought we were supposed to answer to you. That's called fascism. That is not why I'm not worried, because the choice is clear. You have Joe Biden with all of his many flaws, things he's done wrong, and I can list them out. Things he should have done right, but he works to make those things right. Versus a man who says he's done nothing wrong, they don't work to do anything right, that thinks that we should answer to him instead of him answering to the American people. The choice is clear. So why am I not worried about Ron DeSantis? Why am I not worried about Tim Scott, Nikki Haley, that fake Christian idiot Mike Pence? Why am I not worried about those people? Because the Republican Party is owned by Trump. And now Trump is the face of the Republican Party. Fascism, racism, bigotry, freedoms, everything they say they believe in the United States Constitution, gone. Completely, totally gone. They don't care about America. They don't care about the people of America. They care about power. Absolute, total power. And they will sell out this country and sell out the people of this country to get it. And that cannot continue. Right now, we are on the edge of losing our country, because Donald Trump supporters are screaming Trump or death. This whole weekend, I have been called evil. I've been called a Satan worshiper, all because I don't support Donald Trump. This is the mentality of people who will burn this country to the ground for the sake of Donald Trump. This needs to stop. In 2024, and I hate using this phrase because it's been used too many times in our country's history, but this is the election in 2024 that will make, save, or break our country. Fight with our votes. CTP, know the truth. God bless. Peace to the left, justice to the right.